What's the deal, gang? What's going on? Looking like a good session, Eddie? Yes. Well, we'll see. We will see. Anybody forget to pray to baby Forex Jesus? Or Forex baby Jesus? It's taking a while to fill up here. Chad, drop a like. Sub to the channel if you're new here. Give it a minute. We'll do a breakdown. Oh, hold on a second, chat. Half Jewish? Yeah, it's alright. Not everybody's perfect. It's cool. Hold on a second, chat. Nope, not mute anymore. What's going on, everybody? Anybody in positions right now? Anybody in any trades before we get going here? You a snitcher? What's up with the name? Yes, I tell on everybody. Gotta sign an NDA to hang out with me. Otherwise, I litigate. Telling Jerome. Just scalp Nas longs. Now? Really? NASDAQ? Huh. Interesting. Alright, almost 400 in here. Wanted to wait till 420, but I think I'll smoke at 420. Daily, very interesting. Yesterday's daily never flipped to continue to drive up, and now we're closing back in range, back below. Most recent, below the overall. The 4 hours closed bearish, but the thing is, that was to close the day yesterday. That's how bearish it closed. This is the start of the new day, this 4 hour, and we've come up initially. First thing we did with no bottom wick. Right. Let's get to the hourly. Let's see what's valid. What's what. I think as we come down to 2027 here, I'm not going to look for a rejection. I'll probably look for a continuation, but this I think is the overall range here. I don't think we'll come up here tonight. this is an interesting level here because let's say London drives above 30. Let me just mention this. It's irrelevant for Asian session. I'll just mention it quickly. But highly likely that if you're going to get a closure above 2039, irrespective of what happens immediately after that closure, once you're above 2039, you'll have to tap 42 or 44 areas. So I think trading above 39 should be a breeze if you do get up there, London and New York, to drive through. For now, for tonight's session, I think this is a good area. I don't think we'll get a closure up above there. I think we can come up to 37 or 39, but a closure above there for this session would be tough, because that would mean there's enough volume, and that there should there's no reason for there to be enough volume right now to drive us up to 44. If you get those closures above there, it might be really late or early tomorrow, and we'll see. Technically, I wouldn't expect those closures. I would expect 37, 39 to be tapped here, somewhere within this range, and an eventual drive down, because we did close bearish on the daily back in range, right? So you'd expect the daily to flip, fill the daily wick, and quite possibly head down back to 2020. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is not an easy level to trade here, but we'll get an indication of what it wants to do here on the higher time frame. But definitely not an easy level to trade here. There's too many ranges created within this range, and it's not too many. There's just a lot. No such thing as too many. All right, that's kind of subjective, but there's a lot of ranges here where if you're not careful. So let's do our best to be careful here. And I would say, since these are the more recent levels here, yeah, I really like that level. Okay, what I'm looking for, either we come back down, this is my immediate reaction, either we come back down to tap roughly 2031 to flip bullish and fill the range up, or we're gonna wait for a bearish closure on the hourly, a strong bearish closure on the hourly, and ideally a 4-hour flip. Because the way it looks like right now, if we close like this on the hourly, that was also the 4-hour close. The nearest position we can have is buys after they come down to these area for wicks, right? You see all these wicks all the way across right here, right here, right here, right here. They see all these wicks. Let's draw this across, right? All one area. So if we can have the next hourly immediately come down here, looking like an incredibly bearish candle, and then flip, we will take this flip up as long as we are able to tap within this area, okay? Because that seems to drive us up, right? So if we get that bottom wick tapping in there, or if we get the drive coming down there and then the candle flips, you can be, right? You can be pretty confident it's coming up to the top of the range. That's our next possible move, whether that happens on the hourly or the 30. I'll be fine with either one, right? On gold, we're on GJ sells. Oh, all right, you guys are talking about something else. Sorry. And hold on, let me clear this out. And if we don't close bullish right now, 30 hourly, which are what I'm gonna look for here, and we're able to come down and close bearish like so. What the fuck is that? Right, if this candle is able to come down and do this, this gives us a bearish 4 hour, right? Right, the 4 hour will end up looking, this will be the 4 hour candle then, if this is how we close. Right, and then you're not looking for an insanely steep top wick, just roughly these areas across here. This is where we seem to drive off of, and this will fill the range. But you need this, then the hourly to close like this, not just the 30. You would need the hourly, which would fall in line with the 4 hour flip, and we will be good to go. Know what I mean?
Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, I mean. But if we close bullish here, and then the next candle starts breaking the lows here, don't fucking yell, "Hey Wix, sell a replay." Yeah, a sell replay. Because as it turns bearish and starts breaking these lows here, I will look for, remember I just showed you all these wicks across the board, and that's what the 4 hour will then look like with a bullish 4 hour close. Nah, I mean. Thanks for the analysis. I didn't see the support there. Sure. There's a high probability that we create somehow a bottom wick, especially if the daily has no bottom wick too. But it seems right now in the hour time we are strong bullish. Here, you know what I want you guys to understand? That this is the daily candle, right? So we understand that the daily needs to flip and fill the wick. What you have to understand is for that to happen, the 4 hour and the 1 hour will have to line up here and be massively bearish, right? If they don't do that, it'll still probably fill that wick by the end of the day. But that doesn't mean that it'll do it once this 4 hour low is broken, because this 4 hour will close. You'll get something like this, right? You'll pull back up, and then you'll create some kind of range here, and then eventually by like New York or London, right, this shit starts happening. And at the end of the day, eventually you get what you expected on the daily. You expected it to happen right here, but it doesn't. It'll take a while, but the daily will do what the daily needs to do, and it'll eventually get there. Just have to understand that the smaller time frames will determine when it'll do it, right? If the daily's coming down, it doesn't mean, and the 4 hours close bullish, that's probably not it. It'll probably pull back up, create a steeper wick, come back down. But it'll still do, you're like, oh, fuck, the daily's just not behaving right. It's not doing what it's supposed to. No, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to. It's just not doing it according to your time frame. It's doing it according to its own. It's doing it according to what the market, dictates, not according to, like, your clock. We're in the beginning of the session. Is Asian session more difficult to trade than New York? So it's the same thing. Markets are the markets. Sometimes less volume, sometimes more volume. Sometimes I see more volume in Asian for weeks at a time than I do in New York, right? It's just the nature of the market cycles. I'm prepared for it. I'm like to me at this point, it doesn't matter. I have an understanding where we are in the markets. I have an understanding of the differences between Asian and New York. The beginning of the candle, the daily candle, versus the end of the daily candle, and the market finishing out the day where it needs to get, versus it grabbing orders in the beginning of the day, right? So like there are nuances attached to each session, but price action is price action. You have to understand that price action works best, right? Or needs to be put into action, right? It's not enough to know price action. You have to apply it. And the application of price action happens during action, during volatility, during volume, right? That's when you apply it. It's not just knowledge of candles printing, it's knowledge of when they print, timing wise, how long it would take for volume to show if if you do print a certain way. It's the expectation of volume. It's understanding when volume should come in. That's our goal. It's you don't want to be stuck here in a ranging market or in a pullback. We're trying to predict with a high degree of probability what that one volume candle will be, right? We could get in that volume candle, drive, be out, and that's it. Just be out. You really want to spend as less amount of time in the markets as possible, right? The more you trade, the more you have risk exposure you're taking on. It's just what it is. So the less time you spend in the markets, the less risk you're taking on. If I'm understanding correctly, we can expect a bottom wick on the hourly. We're very bullish, so it's likely not going to make the bottom wick without some liquidity first. No, I believe as you start seeing smaller candles here, the trickle up here, see the 30s are kind of trickling up. I believe you're going to see a drive down, and that drive down is a bottom wick for our eventual drive up to 37, 39 areas. For then the decision to be made, do we continue up or do we reject and continue to 2020s? Just the way it's printing. We'll see. The way it's trickling up here, it tells me that you're a candle or two away, right? It typically trickles up, trickles down, and then during volume times, it'll do that for a few candles in a row, and then you get a massive push. So my understanding is that it'll probably push massively down to grab some orders to flip up. We'll see. A lot of that will depend on how the 30 and how the 1 hour close here. So we're getting the 30 close here in about 3 minutes. Let's see how it closes. It closes like this. We're above the overall 30 range here, above 33.494. Right, I'm sorry, 33.693. If it closes like this, then you're looking for a bottom wick to the areas we mentioned before that we highlighted earlier, 31, right? 30 areas, and then once you get that flip, because if you start coming down and don't flip, you have no confirmation that you're going to continue up because you're below support at that point. Once you start riding up above support, yeah, it should be pretty comfortable. Don't hear a lot of people trading silver. You gotta listen harder. You see, I was talking in English and you were listening in dumbass. uh, 2 minutes here. Back again tonight. You're in London. Awake to trade with you. Nice. I read that 4 times. Thank you. Appreciate you. Nikola Kachowski. If you get a Tesla, you'll be Nikola with a Tesla. Nikola with a Tesla. Wix says Donvo quit forever or just December? Forever ever? Forever ever? Forever never seems that long until you... Oh. Yeah, that's what Devious stands for. Donvo stopped. Where Donvo skirt. Five seconds for the 30. Everything is bullish. It's an ugly 5. We're gonna need a pretty steep bottom wick here. We come down 30 pips and flip bullish. That's all us. Don posting December 24th on his IG. Yeah, he's gonna sing Christmas carols for us that night. Everybody gonna listen to the Dombo singing Jingle Bells? Jingle bells, buys or sells, I got margin called. Aren't you going somewhere special this Christmas? Yes. That's a good one. Favorite handcuff material? Sup, my guy? You only stream Asian session? Well, if you find the other sessions that I may or may not be streaming, consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself a winner. Yo. We smoking this evening? Yes, sir. I'm a zip tie guy personally. Here's what you should do. And mains, sub to the channel and turn on your notifications. This way, you'll know when we're on, and whenever we're on in the morning or the evening, YouTube will notify you. Wick's been killing it these last few days. Yo, there's some shit that gets you banned. You say that like I started last week. Trying to diminish my body of work. Or a devious 360 deal. Yo, Eddie, step away from the dog. Step away from the dog. Hey, puppy. Blink twice if you need me to call animal control. Eddie got a cute puppy. Green's like, PETA! Or Green's already got a fucking banner, a fucking billboard that he can protest with. He got one ready. Trailer park dog. Got him a couple. Hey, don't do that to the dog. You ain't gotta tell nobody. Nobody would have known. Yeah. Just embarrass the dog like that. What's his name? Bubba? His name definitely Bubba. Milo. Yeah. One dog walk with you and he's fucking high-low. I know that. Fucking bumping into the elevator door and shit. blessed for real. Can you tell them apart? Can you tell the twins apart though? Like easy? They're not identical, right? They're just like, what do you call it? There's a name for it. 90% identical? How the fuck you tell them apart? Damn. Because, like, especially in COVID with a mask on, be like, look, I don't believe you. I'm going to need you to take your clothes off. Fraternal, that's the word. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. We're waiting on a 4-hour close here, regardless what happens here in the next 20 minutes. Really, right now, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna need to see this 4-hour through. I want to see if we can flip. We are gonna close bullish. How bullish are we gonna close? And if we close right here, I think we're gonna get a really steep bottom wick. There will be no positions till we break the previous 4-hour low, and the daily flips. Once the daily flips, I can look for buys. And it's just the nature of the range we're in, where the market drives from. And if we take a buy with a small bottom wick, high chance we're going to come down, re-break it, and who wants to sit in and draw down? She wears the nice things that I buy her. That's, oh yeah. It's like buying your own deck of cards that you mark, and only you can tell. It's like, how do you know? Well, you see that little pen scratch on the bottom of the dress? I did that. We going out with a sister? No. Come here. Black eye. Now I know which one you are. I did that. Easier to tell you apart, baby. What do you mean? You don't want me to make a mistake, right? She don't ever want to see her sister after that. Luckily, she's not home today. I know you would have deaded that conversation 20 minutes ago if she was home. I'm just milking it. As soon as I see that door behind you open, I'm shutting off the Zoom. I don't want to know what happens. I'm not gonna be a witness to nothing. As soon as that door opens and the dog's ears go, we'll play a little funeral march for you. Dun, dun. 600 of us watching it, you know, or 600 people in the chat listening to us talk about Eddie's girl. Don't do that, chat. Never talk about anybody's girl. You know what you never do? Talk about your own girl. Especially if she's somewhere next to you. Yo, I don't know. The volume in New York seems beautiful. Right? And it feels like you're going to correct these moves, but what's been happening is we've been driving in New York and ranging through the Asian session, just trickling up or down, not really a drive. Right? You see what's going on? Because we go to small time frame, like, look at this. At one of these points, we're going to need to see some volume, but Last few Asian sessions have been range. Hi, boss. Watching candles print to your setup forms? Hell yeah. I I do this for hours at a time and don't take positions. What's your thoughts on GJ? Chat. Exclamation point GJ. We get asked about GJ so much that it's a command. I know you probably get asked this a lot. Yeah. Today's the last day the market's gonna give us nice moves. Until next year, market's gonna be dead. Damn. Nostradamus. Pipstradamus. That boy definitely working with Miss Cleo. Call me now for your free reading. Call me now with your free go reading. Call me now, you dirty boy. Ah, shit. No audio. Yeah? I guess everyone's just laughing at me laughing. I'll take it. Where am I parking my 401k tonight? Don't park it in FTX, that's for sure. Oh god. When you find out who 1% Jamaican. Does the Forex market close for Christmas? There's no such thing really as the Forex market. Like, well, there is, but like banks close. Right? This shit's still open, like you have algos running it, but banks close. It's Amori. Amori. Found my edge in the market? Yes. Now look for more edges. Doesn't stop there. You don't find one edge and that's it. You've reached the pinnacle. No, you gotta find more edges. And with that, you'll get better at the edges that you've already found and discovered. When the sun hits your eye like a big... Oh, wait. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, it's amore. Or when the sun? I don't remember. That's the weed speaker. You guys would enjoy your motherfucking asses if you were smoking a J with me. You giggle your evening off. Ah, clear session trades. Tonight, Lunamana is that guy. You win the That Guy Award. That Guy Award goes to Lunamana. But as you wish, sir or madam. If you're planning on going short with the 30-minute closes up with no top wick, do you still take the trade? If you're planning on going short and the 30-minute closes up with no top wick, well, that doesn't mean it negates your analysis. I think that's an extra, right? That's an extra variable in your favor. If you're looking for sells and then you have a 30 that closes with no top wick indicating no more range to go up, I mean, if you're looking for sells, that's another variable in your favor. Do you enter? A lot of it depends on what you're trying to do and on you as well, personally. Wix, when did you get that feeling that you are finally doing something right and more profitable? Never, because as you're always chasing that feeling, it never comes. You just eventually, slowly over time, build strategies, recognize strategies, and you put mechanisms into place that slowly over time make you profitable. But there's never a moment that happens. Ah, wow, like no. It's just because your psyche, right, and your mentality and your approach changes as well. So then you're just not expecting that moment. You're expecting a continuous growth, right? It's never a goal that you reach, right? Growth over goals mindset here, right? No diplomas because the learning never stops. You just you just get better and better and better, and you don't realize there's no moment in time where all of a sudden you're in the positive or it flips in your favor, because it takes such a long time and it's spread out over so many positions that you don't notice when that moment comes. It's just because when that moment has arrived, your mindset by that time has changed to look and notice other things, and you've adjusted. It's called having mechanisms in place to cope with the situation, and when you build and grow into a situation, those mechanisms are in place. That's why it's hard to all of a sudden trade $100,000 when you've never had any money, because you don't have any mechanisms in place to be able to manage those funds. You've never built that amount. To build that amount go from 1,000 to 100,000, by the time you get there, you have so many mechanisms in place to keep you there and keep you going past 100. If you're just given 100, you don't have any mechanisms in place to keep going and build it and hold on to it and grow it, right? Like your risk management mechanisms, your entry techniques, the way you would read candles after growing an account from 1 to 100,000, right? There was massive improvement, consistency, patience. There's a lot of things there, and you've never done any of that, and you're just given 100,000. You didn't build into it. those mechanisms aren't in place, highly likely for you to, lose funds. Let me just flip the tape here. Flippity tapey. It's a good song. I like it. You're gonna do it, do it. Yeah, I wanted the LED light. You know what's funny? When I was starting up the stream, it blinked. I was like, yo, you playing with me right now? And then it shut off. And I was like, yeah, you playing with me right now. The weirdest fucking light ever. I don't know who it's controlled by, but whatever entity is controlling my light. Like, what do you really want? Come on, big dog. Let a light live. Nah, it's just gonna play me like that. At this rate, I could have gotten more lights. Just fix the light. I feel you. At this rate, I could have definitely got more lights. Give me a second, chat. Touched the 50% mark for yesterday's candle. Maybe time to flip. Music too loud. Four minutes here for the 4-hour close. How many t-shirts you wearing? What do you mean? What kind of question is that? Wearing a hoodie? And I'm wearing a t-shirt, a white tee. Look, I don't need a lot of t-shirts, y'all. I got enough hair to fucking pass for fur. What do you think about the pound today?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Bulls and Lakers. I got the refs. The refs win that for sure. One minute, chat. Bulls won like 3 games in the last 3 years, yeah. But I'm definitely Chicago bullish on these. I got the Bulls over here. I don't know about the game, right? But I got the Bulls on gold right here. I think the Bulls are going to win this on gold. Bro. What up, Tony? Oh, Green got it. So, we closed bullish, and we're pushing up here. I don't have positions here. I'm gonna need a pretty steep wick, or we're gonna need a 30 closure above here. If we can get a 30 closure above 37, maybe a 15 closure above 37. I want to see this. It all depends on how this happens. It might be a 5 closure above 37, but then you'll have to see within one 5-minute candle the price drop 30 pips and then drive up 30 pips. So highly unlikely, but within a 15-minute candle or a 30-minute candle, that's a likely scenario. So let's see how this prints here. It looking like for the next 10-15 minutes, definitely nothing. Maybe the next 30. And I like the strong 4-hour push, but not without a bottom wick here. Pushed up what, 15 pips here? Yeah, 15. Yo, I'm done with this fucking mute button. I'm fucking you see? You see? Here's the thing. My old headset, that's why I like the Astros. The Astros were very simple. The Astros, if this shit's in front of me, you hear me. If I go like this, you can't hear me. If I don't see this thing in front of me, I don't talk. I bring it down, it's in front of me, boom, you hear me, I talk. Astros, easy. This thing has a fucking button. Now you know. You see? Sign language interpreter? No, you motherfuckers need a lip reader. Sign language interpreter. Wish you were that lucky. Lip reader. Emotional damage. Yo, that's crazy. I don't even know how long I've been on mute, but I'm not repeating all of that. All of that? No. Chat. Here. Long story short, I'm going to look for a 15 or a 30 close in the same position we are right now, somewhere there. So then we can look for a bottom wick to break the previous 15 or 30 and then take the buys up as I just drew it, right? Like if that's how we were to close. This is the 5 right now. So this can happen on the 5. We close like this, right? But the 5, we don't have enough time to drive all the way down here. That's why if we can see some wicks on the 5 to break 20, 36, 3 down and then come back up and still close above, right? So if it come down back into the range here and then still close above on the 5, then on the next 15 or 30, we can start looking for positions as the market makes a bottom wick and starts flipping. Start the stream over, word. I've been muted since yesterday. True. This is a gap fill at 2029.45. Gold will come back down. The old gap fill. Okay. So here's the thing. Don't get thrown off here with this 5 making a bottom wick. Because you need this 5 to close. This is good that it's making a bottom wick back below range. All it has to do now in 3 minutes is to not necessarily flip, but close above 36.3. This is good because you're retesting and grabbing orders from this area and you're not able to drive. And if you close above, that's a high indication that you're rejecting 36.3 and creating a support there. And then we'd want another break of the lows on the higher time frame. We want a steeper bottom wick here on the hourly to confirm that the candle tried, that the price tried to come down and couldn't. Because once you get that steeper bottom wick on the hourly, if it's on the next 15, it's a bottom wick for the next 15 and then a drive up. Let's wait 2.5 minutes here. Be on stream tomorrow and be like, I told you so. Oh, we got a command for that. you'd win the TYG award. It could fill in a few weeks from now, or it could fill in a few weeks from now, right? All it is clean range. So when the market drives through it again, it's just going to drive through it, right? It's not going to find a support resistance within that gap. It's just clean range. So whenever it does come back to it, a few weeks from now or a few weeks from now, it'll drive through it. Today, 21 December, not 20th December. You, my friend, have forgot that there's other perspectives. No, motherfucker, the world revolves around me. It's the 21st in Asia, but it's the 20th for me. '21st in the UK. Bruh, you know what? Like at midnight, I don't be calling people in California talking about why you living in the past. Nah, bro. They 3 hours behind because of natural shit and not something they can do. This isn't my mistake that I'm still here on the 20th. This is just a matter of fact, a matter of reality. Said, you fucked up. You living in the past, dog. You're still in the 20th. $15 closed right at. This is why I love this level, right? It's a good level that we drew here because now we got a closure right at it, and the next chance is the next 5. Quite possibly. Oh, that closed a little bit below, right? Closed right at it, but a little below. Ooh. Bearish. This is good. So this is going to create a bottom wick on the 15. But it's not good in terms of if it creates this bottom wick on the 15, you're most likely, and closes bearish, you're most likely going to hold resistance since this was a previous resistance and after this rejection. But if you don't hold that resistance and the 30 closes above, right? Because what's the 30? That's 3 more 5-minute candles. So you have this 5-minute candle that's driving down. All right, you got this 5-minute candle that's driving down. You're going to have another 5-minute candle probably that does this. Right? And then you're going to have another 5-minute candle that does this. This is a fake out as you close above this range, just like this over here was a fake out coming back in range as you got out of it. But if this happens, you're still, this gives you a closure above the range on the 30 if this happens like this, because that third candle, that's the 930 closure, right? Now that drives you out of the range for 930 after testing back in range and finding a support, right? After you found a support here across the board where you had support before. What happens then? Highly likely you come up here. So that bottom wick, to see where you drove from before, and then the drive up. Love you. You going to sleep? Where are your sisters? Sleeping? Both of them? Love you. Did you come back at 8? Good job. So I'm gonna come to you once I'm done. Okay. All right. Right, and the 30 candle will be closing above then. So we'll see. But there's a lot left here for that because we might just flip bearish and continue down. I don't know. We'll see. Spread on gold 1.4, 1.2, 1.5. It's pretty low. I got you, Javier Gonzalez. Was that you that DM'd me, Javier? I just answered somebody, some Miss A Gonzalez. Was that you that DM'd me? If that was you, I mean, all it is just it's just the access to the Wixnon tab in the DVS Discord. I'll add it tonight. You'll be able to you'll see on the left side it'll say Wixnon. There's not much going on there right now, but I think over the next year I'm gonna incorporate it a lot more. Channel growing fast. In what sense? In subscribers? I think the last, yeah, I got a influx of a lot of new subs from the New York session. Because typically a lot of people that wouldn't watch me in the Asian session are seeing me in New York, so I'm getting a lot of new subs like that. Oh yeah, and me subbed with 2 accounts. Not I. Me. Me said I, but you are not I, you are me. Yesterday you were at 20K? Yeah. I'm still 20K. Oh, 21. See from your history, you really Asian session. Yeah, we Asian session. We completely Asian session. No, we are in New York session on Don Vo's channel, right? The whole year, and at the end of the year, we have been in the New York session on this channel. Big Zwix, hope you're feeling good and have a W today. Beat you to it. Already got a W today. Appreciate you though. When you 100K subs, you're gonna roll a 100-gram cone, right? No, we're gonna do something special at 100K subs, but I think that's a good maybe 3 years away. If like my estimates are correct, like not just judging by how many subs I got this year, but the rate of growth or the rate of growth for new subs, I think maybe we're like 3 years away. Maybe from from 100K. Just subscribe because Asian session is so slow and I get discouraged. It's nice to have company. W, not everybody trades like us, but a lot of people on here you know, not everybody on here trades like us, but a lot of people on here enjoy the company. They enjoy the back and forth. They enjoy, you know, the banter or the jokes or just, you know, the fact that we're also trading. So a lot of people, you know, traded differently and started coming to the streams, and now they trade like us. So it's got a different effect on people, but the community's for everybody. Let's, you know, let's keep running a non-toxic community over here. 3 years is crazy. You're underrating your potential. I know I am, but I'd rather, like, you know, underrate it and then blow it out the water than be like, yeah, by next year I got it, and then like 100K by December next year. That would be fire. Imagine. Are you using different strat between Asia and New York? No, same strategy. Candles are candles. It's just the nuances of the sessions are a bit different because it's the daily opening versus the daily closing. Are you ready for Christmas wicks? Question is, are you ready for Christmas wicks? Christmas wicks is a whole new ball game. Wicks says, what's up? What up, Jose? You doing New York City streams now? We've been doing them to close out the year. Yeah. I think if you guys do vlogs and record videos, it'll blow up your channel. Yeah, I think so too. How many presents do the girls get? Enough. Even though I trade different, yes. What do your kids want for Christmas? They want like 5 nights at Freddy's toys. I don't think Wix is ready for Christmas Wix. Wix streams are a powerhouse of wisdom and discipline, molding aspiring traders into resilient, savvy success. Like, that is the nicest thing anyone has said about these streams in the last 24 hours. I want to pin that. Give them Bonnie's figurines. They have every 5 nights at Freddy's toy and like the movie, and like we went to the movies dressed up as friggin' Foxy and Chica and Bonnie and all this What'd you think of the movie? I liked the movie. It deviated from the video game, but I liked the movie. I'd be singing all the songs with my kids in the car. So nice to meet you. You're part of the animatronic family. Open real soon. Shout out to everybody that knows what the fuck I was singing. Probably like all 2 of you. Alright. 3 minutes here for the 30. Let's lighten up a little. Okay, okay, okay. We got 1 minute left here for this 30 to close. Strong rejection here. It's a strong rejection. Either we close like we are right now and we drive down off the rip to 33 and flip bullish, or we come up and we make a top wick to 36.36 and flip bearish. Once again, one of those situations where buys or sells could set up here, depending on what comes out at the beginning of the next candle. So pay attention. Wow, so we closed, I don't think we closed with a bottom wick. We closed with no bottom wick here, Chad. If a 5 minute can create one here before it drives, and then we come up, create a top wick, I'm going to look for sells. But I'm going to need a bottom wick created here first. Either on a 5 or a 15. If the 5 can create one but not drive, right? If we can do something like this on a 5 minute, then this gives us a range where the previous 30 doesn't have. And if the previous 30 doesn't have, but the 5 gives us this range, then whatever follows after that 5 on the current 30 can be taken as a position. So then if this happens, right? If this happens, I'm okay with sells now, even though the previous 30 doesn't have a bottom wick, understanding that the 5 has created some range, and now we can, with momentum, we have some room that we can drive. How much did it drive here? The overall, yeah, the market drove 35 pips off the last hour push. It's good. We're not printing side by side, but we need to set up with an indication of range, of volume, direction. Roger is your teacher? No. Definitely not. Can I get a thank you, Wix, for the double shifts? Thank you, Wix. When did you start trading? August of 2018. Someone, dude used to work for me. You guys get probably sick and tired of hearing this, right? But the dude that used to work for me, he quit and then he quit his job. He quit working for me and he was like, "Yo, you heard of Forex?" I was like, "Nah, we're a medium." And he was like, "Well, I quit." That was it. He quit. I was like, "What are you gonna do now?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna trade." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yep, just gonna trade." And that was it. I was like, "So you're just gonna quit like now?" And he's like, "Yep, I quit." Is he still trade? Yeah, he shows up here on the streams from time to time, once in a while. A lot of you guys met him. A lot of you guys have seen him on the streams. Or maybe not you guys, but over the last year, he's shown up pretty, like, often. And he's modded, yeah. Yeah, he quit, and then he showed me what this was about. You'll see him in the streams, like whenever he's got family shit going on right now, but whenever he shows up in the streams, I always shout him out. You trade Sima? No, he trades ICT. He trades the other guy. But he's been doing that for like many years, like since like he started trading. Like I went one way and he didn't teach me, he just showed me what Forex was. He introduced me to it. And from then on, we just kind of went our separate ways. He introduced me to it, and I knew he was making money, but I took my own road to like get there. Did you make a profit in your first year of trading? Definitely not. I was down big, a lot. You see Uncle Ted? No, Uncle Ted never worked for me. I've learned a bunch from Ted, but he's never worked for me. Wix, where and how did you know trading? Literally just explained it. I'm still down after 4 years. The key is to finding the right path. The right path for you. And it takes, after you find the path, then your learning starts, right? And then it should be kind of straightforward. But you got to find the right path first. People waste a lot of time on the wrong path. You got a course out? Nope, got nothing to sell you. Bro, I knew nothing before I seen your streams, man. I appreciate it. Your streams, thank you, man. This fucking thing. No, I read, I was saying, first of all, I said Miami in the house. Thanks for sharing the info. I got you, Moonwalker. Appreciate you. Glad I found the devious community. Absolutely. Yeah, today is officially my first month of being consistent. So what I was saying is don't look at it like that. Don't look at it as first month, because eventually there's going to be a second month and third month, and then there's going to be a loss, right? And there's going to be a week or two of loss. Like it gets very mundane, like looking things from that perspective. First month, second month, third month, fourth, because that's like month 6. You're like, all right, this is the month that I failed. No, just forget about the months. You're not going to fail. You're not going to be inconsistent. You're still growing. You're gonna have, it's a parabolic chart for you when you're growing, right? It's gonna move up, down, up, down. You're gonna have ups and downs in here, right? But don't look at it as like 1 month profitable, consistent, like, because that's very easy way to get thrown off and start creating, the GGs in your head. It's like have you guys seen that meme lately, or that graphic lately, where the two metal balls are rolling down a hill, and one is like going up a hill, up and down a hill, up and down a hill, up and down a hill, and the other one is going smoothly down a hill, right? Right? The one that's parabolic always wins, right? And people are like, "Yeah, I want to live my life like that." But guess what? That ball that comes down smoothly, it takes a longer time to come down, right? So which way would you rather really treat your life? Like a big parabolic, wave, or a smooth journey? Same thing here with trading, right? It's a lot of waves, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, right? But over time, the goal is really to smooth it out, where it's a smooth ride, because the ups and downs are going to knock you out of the game. The smooth ride is what's going to keep you in the game longer. The straight one is boring, maybe, but with time you realize that in order to be successful, right, and stick around, you need to change your perspective. And most people will enjoy that up and down. They're looking at the graphic and they're like, hell yeah, and I'm always going to be on that wave up and down and get there faster. Well, that's not the way to stick around. Yeah, you want to live that way? Fine. You want to gamble? Sure, be my guest. You have more excitement. But if you want to talk about things that really matter, when I looked at that graphic and I saw people posting, oh yeah, I want to be on that wave, right? That wave ends pretty quickly. Whereas that smooth ride just keeps on sailing. And that's what your goal is here. Your goal is to achieve a smooth ride, not the huge ups and the huge downs. I figured one thing out. Like, in my short time span being on this earth, chat, honestly, I've I figured out the fact that your mood in life, right? Whether you're content or not, if you're happy with what you're doing or where you are, right? Or if you're satisfied, it's really determined by the road traveled, not the destination reached, right? The road you traveled will determine how you feel at the destination. How you got there. That's what the fuck you talk about, you know. So enjoy that ride. Make sure it's comfortable, smooth. Make sure you're at your peak performance, right, for that ride. Just finished Alex's course. Who? What? Because Oh, Alex. All right. I don't know. I didn't catch on. That had nothing to do with what we were talking about. All of a sudden, it's like finished Alex's scores. How much did he pay you for that? Yo, cause I'll fucking double it for you to go back over there and promote this. See, this all you had to do. All you had to do was just DM me. You didn't have to be like, yo, I just finished Alex's course. You just had to DM me, be like, yo, Wix, Alex paid me this much to promote his stream on here. If you give me $5 more, I'll go do it over there. I would have been like, perfect. Don't say a fucking word on my stream and go over there and promote ours. You see, you could have worked out a better deal for yourself. People don't see the opportunity. You got to see the opportunity, read the markets, and then adjust. Adjust, baby, you know? Keep it flowing. Keep it flowing. Always in profits, never losing. We don't do stop losses, only TPs. You know what I'm saying? Keep it pushing up. You could have gotten some more money. Instead, you're stuck over there with a $7 bill. Let's smash that, Zaza. Y'all provide too much good information. True. True. Could have get 10 and promote this stream instead. True. Riding up. Somebody was short a minute ago. Now they're long. I'm half laughing at 3:46 a.m. You lie. Why you lying, Edge? I know you. You sitting on the edge of your bed, giggling your motherfucking ass off right now. You are not half laughing. That boy's like... Ain't nobody just half laughing at 3:46. At 3:46 is when you go berserk. You're either full-blown crying or you're full-blown laughing to tears. Just wondering why you're not asleep. It's ripping, mate. It's ripping. I miss the Brits. Nah, we only 3/4 laugh around these parts. You know what's wild? If you're sitting there on the corner of your bed and your feet are doing this and your feet are dangling. If your feet are dangling and you're laughing, bro, you better put the phone down before mom comes in and whoops your ass. What you doing on Forex? I did not tell you not to trade and look at these candles as the devil, man. Damn, ma. Put down the machete, ma. What the fuck? If your feet are dangling, you... You ever notice how you can't take anyone seriously if they're sitting and their feet are dangling? Like, I don't care if you're sitting on a table, on a car. Like, if you're sitting down and your feet are dangling, we cannot have a serious conversation. I'm turning around, I'm walking away, I'm doing something, but it's not happening. You're not looking me in the face going with some straight, like, no. If your feet are dangling when we're talking, I'm walking away. That's some disrespectful shit. How you gonna talk to me and dangle your feet? You crazy? You better stand on some solid ground. You better dig your heels in. That's crazy. Wick's feet swinging as we speak. Word. How to dangle your feet while standing. Now that, see, all right, talent. That's talent. Everything else, no. Stand on business. I don't know, chat. That 30 flipped. I went nowhere. The hourly reflipped and drove up. No bottom wick. I have no issue with this if this sets up for the next 15 candle. Which means if we can stay above and not flip here on the 15 and close like this is an hourly closure as well then. And then, how much is it to the top? Oh, it's only 10 pips to the top here, only 11. Yeah, if we get a bottom wick off the beginning of the next hour, I might look for positions. But if we do not, that's going to be it. We'll see. Aw, shit. Ahab is here. True, he's been gone all night. Small ranges, not necessarily, but small ranges left. A small bit amount of range left for us to take advantage. Yeah, go get me. Like, wait, muted? Nah. Damn. Damn, mute button got me again. Nah, you know what I'm gonna do from now on? This is it right here. Because I got a little red signal thing that tells me when I'm muted. You guys don't see it, but I see it. I just need it in front of my eye. See? Like if I show you. Like, look, when you're muted, it's like this. See it? I can tell when it's like this in front of my eye, but otherwise I forget. So that's how I know it's in front of me, but the thing is it's on the mouthpiece. Like, why wouldn't they put it like here, like fucking Universal Soldier or something? Heard that, you know what I'm gonna do? Almost got in full much. We only moved 55 pips since opening. Yes, we could have moved 100. It's the manner in which we moved that really matters. The market's always moving. It moved hundreds of pips while we were out of session, but yeah, it seems like the New York session's been the session this week. Session that pays. Yellow lines at the beginning of... Well, the yellow lines are our areas of interest, right? Points of interest where we're going to look for market to react. And they're areas from which we drive, right? And these green ones are the overall range I expect to stay in for the Asian session. And if we break out of them, there will be more green ones. I'm selling now, lunch money. Yo, I swear to God, there was a rapper out of Miami called Lunch Money. What happened to that guy? Who's ever heard of Lunch Money? Call it. It's Thursday here. Well, it's Wednesday here. If it breaks green lines, do you place a trade? No, that's not how it works. Chad, I appreciate you guys showing up. I know everyone's itching for a trade, and I know last couple of Asian sessions we haven't got one. We had one on Sunday for the private session, but the last Monday and Tuesday we didn't have nothing for Asian, right? But do not be discouraged. That's mostly because we've ranged for Asian session and we've pushed for New York. So we were able to take advantage of New York, right? We got our trades in for the day regardless. Just be patient. If it doesn't set up tonight, we'll be back tomorrow, 7:30, 8 a.m. East. I know I keep saying 7:30 all week and showing up at 8, but I'm trying to show up 7:30. If I say 7:30, subconsciously I show up earlier. I wake up earlier. But 7:30 tomorrow in the morning. Yeah, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, live here on YouTube. We'll continue the streams with the New York session. I'm expecting more out of Asian based on the New York pushes the last few days. I've been expecting more out of the Asian session. But that doesn't mean the market's going to print the way we want it to. It means it's going to do what it does, and it's our job to look for opportunities and recognize them and apply our knowledge to execute on our edge. It's not just for the trades here, it's for the wisdom. Love from Montreal. Thank you. I appreciate it. Français. The French. I'm gonna stick around here for the hourly open. I'm kind of curious to see how we close and open. Forex Blade, that's W. Welcome to Wix Stable. Join us for you have access now to the Zooms and the Sunday private session. So good decision there on Wix's table over the clubhouse. Ain't no way you trading this right now. I'm sorry? Hmm? Let's see. I wouldn't be against some buys here. It is highly likely then the beginning of the next hourly drives up off the rip. It's highly likely. Oh, whoops, wrong color. Right now that we get this. Right? My issue is I don't know where this top wick is going to reject. We can start driving up and reject immediately, but I think initially off the beginning of the candle, it'll have to drive up here. If it doesn't and we pull back in range and then flip, then we might have some buys. But from the way we're closing, it's highly likely it drives up here initially. It's just I can't be in here because I have no, the range is too small. It's 9 pip range here, barely 10 pip range, right? With spread it's probably 8, and it's too small for me to expect to fill the entire range without a rejection, right? If this was like 50 pips up, I think we're getting 10 to 12, even maybe 20 before it starts rejecting down. But this is 10 pips, and anywhere within these 10 pips it can create that top wick and drive down. So like I said, off the rip here, it should come up. It can emulate the previous candle with no bottom wick, but where will it reject here? I don't know. So that's why I have a hard time taking a buy here, right? The ideal situation here would be breaking the low of the previous 30, which would break the low. Oh no, it wouldn't break the low of the hourly candle, but breaking the low of the previous 30 and then flipping bullish is the ideal situation here. But I think our time here is up. The session is coming to a close. The volume, even though it's kind of been showing up a bit later in the session, the peak volume for the session is technically should be passed. Should be dying down here. Wow. It's doing exactly as we just described it. This is the problem with taking buys off the rip here, is that you have no guarantee of where this top wick will reject without this bottom wick being formed here. With the bottom wick, you're filling the top of the range, you know, highly, like 90%, 95%. Without a bottom wick, anywhere before that, you can reject here. 37, I mean 37, 37.5, 37.7, 38, you can reject anywhere before that. But it's just, the thing is, the way the previous candle closed, you're expecting an immediate drive up without a bottom wick. But like I said, the issue is you just don't know how steep that top wick will be, or if it's just a drive up. All right, chat, I'm gonna call it a session here. I'll be here tomorrow. I'll see you guys 7:30, 8 a.m. Eastern, live here on YouTube. Everybody in the Zoom, thank you guys for coming through. Eddie, Mateus, Pozo, Bougie. I gotta bring you guys on screen earlier, but I think we could have just chilled for the last half hour and talked instead of me being muted for like a good 15 of those minutes. But anyway, I hope you guys did okay for the day. Did well for the day, but I'm gonna run. I'm tired. I'm gonna go smoke my J that I left outside, and I don't think we're gonna set up here anytime soon for a position. If we do, it's probably like a half hour away, maybe a few hours. But I'll see you guys in the morning, and tomorrow our final Asian session stream of the week. Right? Let's finish off the week strong. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be here, same time, same place for this Asian session. But before that, New York session tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. Right? Be there, be square. Uh-oh, and people are just pulling up to Zoom right now. It's cool. Later, Tony. Later, Tony. Tony. Hey, yo, Tony. So, Tony, is it Anton? Right? Or are you Italian just Google translating shit? Oh, man. that's our session. Chat, don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel before you dip. Turn on notifications. This way you know when we're on. You won't miss our New York session or Asian session streams. But outside of that, love and wisdom to you all. Same goes to everyone in the Zoom. I see you guys. Eddie, Mateus, Bougie, BR, Jarn. I gotta figure. You gotta tell me how to say your name next time, so I don't butcher it. BJ Arnie. Bjarni FX. Next time. Oh shit, our song is on. Chat, I gotta run. Let me start that song from the beginning so we could all vibe out to it. Love and wisdom to you all. I love you guys. And just like that, another Asian session is in the books. Ha 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 ha. Mwah.